Okay, so thank you for joining, everyone. It doesn't show the complete screen. I don't know if I can fix that. Uh, fit- well, thanks for joining, everyone. This is our presentation showing our plan for this year. And so you might notice it says ZecHub, an education hub for the shielded ecosystem. And previously it was an education hub for Zcash. And so we're going to get into more details why um, it's changed. Okay, so today we're going to go through the like an introduction, who the team is, our responsibilities, our goals and objectives, milestones and deliverables, and a timeline for the project. So ZecHub continues its mission of Zcash education being made available to a global audience. The ZecHub Bounty Program is an open source initiative bringing access and proven usage of the Zec asset as a method of payment. I was just in a meeting and we were discussing the importance of the ZecHub Bounty Program in the Zcash economy. And so, Zec being used as a method of payment for goods and services is something that we're building towards. Okay, so the core team consists of Dismad, who handles video tutorials, fixing like the dashboard on the wiki site, social media. He creates posts, schedules posts as well, and his technical expertise, which definitely come in handy when creating video tutorials such as the Zingo Lib plus Zebra plus Zano and things like that. He has quite in-depth knowledge of the protocol, and um, yeah, it's definitely useful. Vito helps with outreach and partnerships, organizing community events, handling video editing, and social media. So, including our Substack, Blue Sky, Warpcast, Twitter, um, essentially all of the platforms, making sure everything gets posted. I handle admin and operations, the bounty program itself, so issuing tasks, helping contributors who are doing tasks, handling, yeah, well, I suppose payments is part of admin as well. Um, I check the additions to the wiki and um, choose which new additions are going in, and I create explainers, so video explainers and threads. Um, in addition to all of this, I think all of us also we're active community members, and we're always checking current events, what's happening, um, just to make sure ZecHub is like, say a bug came up, then I think we'd all be aware and kind of organize the project to um, release some education towards that. Oh, sorry.
Want to add
So
real quick,
yeah,
all of us are available for questions. So if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here working for the DAO, which is everyone in the community. So it's been fun, and I'm looking forward to um, working more with you guys in the community on a full-time basis. So just wanted to share that.
thank you. Funnily enough, I didn't include the DAO in this presentation because, strictly speaking, the DAO decides what we do, right? So, if any DAO member said, "I don't want you to work with Penumbra," then we would kind of have to go by that if it passed. But we do want to work with Penumbra. So ZecHub as a shielded ecosystem education and bounty platform is the ultimate goal for us this year. We have previously worked with Namada. At the very beginning of ZecHub, there was a amicable relationship with railgun. I've been loosely like I did a Twitter Spaces with Zach Williamson, the Aztec guy, and I'm in the Darkfy chat. I speak with Addy, who is now sort of associated with Darkfy, and I think that if we um, offer our bounty program to all of these ecosystems, all of these different projects, we can help further the goal of Zcash as well. Kind of introduce Zcash to them, um, perhaps even as a method of payment. And I'll go into this uh, why this is like necessary for for ZecHub um, at the end. So goals and objectives. Um, so we need a greater number of Zcash contributors, or active Zcash contributors, sorry. And how we're going to do that is by engaging with other crypto and privacy projects, kind of um, introduce them to ZecHub bounty program, get them interested, and earning Zec. Another goal is to improve in our production quality. Um, so luckily we have Vito on the team, and he's quite well versed in like post production. Um, yep. So moving on, build engagement with the community. This is something it it varies over time. There's sometimes like peaks and troughs of community engagement, and this year I think we should kind of strive to keep it much more consistent. So the idea is to hold events every month, and the events can vary. So by default, we'll get into it later, but um, yeah, by default, one community event per month. Uh, Growing the DAO, I think, is something we haven't done um, as much as we could. So there are plenty of very active ZecHub contributors who have been with us for a very long time, who haven't been more involved with Zcash, or haven't had the opportunity to become more involved in Zcash. And so inviting them into the DAO, having them decide on projects and proposals could, probably give them more insight and um, yeah, get them more involved. And improving contributor documentation, I think, is something necessary. So at the moment, I think a lot of people see or I know that a lot of people see our posts on social media. They see, hey, I can earn crypto. They come into ZecHub and it's like, well, what do I do? Where do I go? What is the ZecHub wiki like? I think we could improve on guiding people. So we'll need to introduce new types of content as well, and to do that, we're going to study other privacy projects um, in the space. So yeah, new types of content. Um, we have had the podcast. The podcast will be returning. Um, Alongside that, I think, say, following a podcast episode, we could have shorts of the podcast, and we could have like a thread summary of what occurred during the podcast, like key points. Um, yeah, Vito, what were some other new content types? There was um, we had a educational series called Zero to Zero Knowledge. Um, we will be reintroducing an educational series, like a written educational, like article type series, like going out once every week. Um, and alongside that, we could also be creating profiles of prominent um, like privacy leaders in the space. So yeah, new types of content we can look forward to, and lastly, improving engagement metrics, and just staying consistent with posting. Deliverables. Specific and tangible outputs that we aim to produce. They represent the measurable and completed results for our project. So ZecHub 2025, the proposal that was approved was like fairly large. For a community project, I think it was the largest ever. So we need to deliver to the community, right? Um, these are the items that have been decided as being important and worth our time. So having active contributors is important. They need to be active, involved with um, what's happening in Zcash, aware and learning. Um, so 30 people, like it's quite a lot. Um, yeah, that's the aim. A Zcash shielded app. I don't know if I could show this now, but I'll I'll it will be revealed quite soon. Um, that will be coming. Yeah, so we've kind of figured that one out. Um, apps themselves. So ZecHub is releasing an app. Okay, people may or may not use it, but I think something that we haven't put down here is we also want to show people how they could do it themselves. Um, I think with Zcash, it's not like Ethereum where you can like just create your own token and well, we could do that soon, but it's actually very difficult to build products with Zcash, and we have the know-how, and we could simplify it enough that we can share these tools with other people. Um, a long-form documentary is something that was actually on the roadmap last year, and um, we've created some video animations before that were super popular. But this is yeah, again, like new content types, keeping it fresh. Um, a documentary by August. Comprehensive network metric tools. This is something that that also helps the community. The ZecHub dashboard has been like very useful. Um, if you want to check like shielded number of shielded outputs or whatever, at the moment you have to pay like a super high price on Mesari or um, Coin. What's it called?
Coin metrics.
Coin metrics. That's the one. Yeah. So we can provide this data um, for free to everyone, and we currently do so in the weekly newsletter. Um, and yeah, I think visualizations is something that I missed on this list. So giving people like a visual representation of like the size of the shielded pool, how it's grown over time, what it means, can help dispel myths about Zcash. Like if you um, make a shielded transaction, the thing people say is like, well, nobody uses Zcash, so your privacy is really low. When in reality, it operates completely differently. So finding ways to represent that to people and share it would be good.
And
Um,
then real quick scroll, I want to just add on to that. It's important that to understand that this information is free. And one of my goals here working with ZetHub this year is to get more people comfortable learning how to use full nodes because they are available anywhere you can download and compile code, which is almost everywhere. And I want to teach everyone how to use it. It's open source, it's free, and that's part of the educational efforts that I'll be leading this year. So if you guys are interested in that for more of the advanced students, please reach out to me. I would love to work with you.
nice. Um, we should. So there is this. What's it called? Like a. It's on Discord. It's like on people's names. It's a role. Okay, there's a role for a node operator, and so we should like we could probably do some kind of challenge to gain that role. Um, I'd like to see that. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm open to ideas there. But the bottom line is that this information is freely available. You just need to learn how to access it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so there are hardware costs and stuff. So moving on, video tutorials. 2 monthly is the baseline for what we'll be outputting. Things may vary over time, but the default is two per month. Privacy ecosystem series of articles. So this is what I mentioned with like creating new types of content, featuring leaders in the privacy space. Something that would be interesting to readers. Like we need a diverse timeline um, on social media, and this could help mix things up a bit. And of course, the podcast target is for 2 episodes per month. Um, Zcash educational articles. So this is like our zero to zero knowledge series, and yeah, potentially other new types as well. And we mentioned the community events. So this could be Twitter Spaces. It could be um, poker games, chess games, uh, just general fun stuff, possibly involving Zec. Milestones. Each milestone contributes to the end goal of the project. So this isn't the full list of milestones. I'll share that with you in a second. This is like an abridged version. Um, but you can see here the key things that we're aiming to achieve by the end of the year. So research subDAO operational by the end of this month. Um, I actually changed it to January very recently because we received a draft proposal to set up the research subDAO from eTrinity. Um, and so next steps there involve creating a team, figuring out the sort of workflow or pipeline for that team. Um,
That's awesome. And
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 yeah,
we want more of that, guys. So don't be shy. This is remember we work for you.
yeah. Well, we work for the DAO, and we also work for the Zcash community. So yeah, we work for you. um, Release EduZec V1 by end of next month. EduZec has been delayed. This is something that we aim to complete by last month. Um, it was delayed because of technical issues involving Zcash nodes and WebZ.js libraries. Um, so we'll try our best to get that done. Um, in terms of the design stuff, that's completed, and the design subDAO members have been paid for their work so far. Nomada bounty program. So Nomada doesn't bounty programs are actually fairly they're very rare, and so if we can sort of align ourselves with the Nomada community, offer them a bounty program, pay them in NAM, um, or a combination of NAM and ZEC, uh, we think that it will play an important part in our eventual uh, PGF Nomada PGF proposal. Um, so what else are we doing? By March that's when ZCon 6 is, and we're going to be launching our new store, um, and sending merch out and having special items for speakers and the community. And so this is, yeah, just our deliverables again. active contributors and articles, podcasts, and the long form documentary by August.
So then
I'm
for
gonna
the store, we're looking for new designs. So if you guys want to participate there, that's another avenue for earning shielded Zec.
Yeah, I actually just thought of one. Um, do you know the Jub on the NE5 protocol spec? Like, it'd be cool to have that on a shirt or something.
That would be awesome. And even like a revamped colored version, because that one's black and white, right?
Yeah, well, I like the black and white one. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna pause and just check if we have any questions coming in. Okay.
I had
People
a
randomly
question.
schedule. Yeah, yeah.
Or go ahead. Sorry, were you reading from the chat?
No, no, no. It's fine.
Um, what could you provide any examples of the direction of the research subDAO?
Not
Like,
now.
is it okay? Yep.
Yeah.
And then the second thought I had is like, this all sounds amazing and completely achievable. I have concern about completing a long form documentary by August.
Right.
Uh, that seems like the hardest, most time consuming kind of separate piece of this that likely will require people from outside of the DAO to contribute, possibly even have to hire.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Um. Yeah. It's an optimistic roadmap. Um. Although surprisingly, for all the roadmaps that we've produced since we started, we've actually managed to meet, I'd say like 80% of all the points. So we'll try our hardest. You guys,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Um, what else did you mention? Oh, the research sub DAO, like direction of it. So it's someone else who's made this proposal, but what I would recommend for Trinity, who's actually he's in the call. Hey, what's up? What I would recommend is to dig, really dig deep into subjects. Say things that are important, like stable coins, um, which stable coins are used, which networks are used, what percentage of those are private, um, like on and off ramps in various different countries, how many of those have a privacy currency. Like, you could get some really interesting, in-depth research done if you're willing to spend the time and you have a good team. So that's the hope. I'll work with you to get that done.
I think Kelly Joe had a question, so go ahead, Kelly Joe.
Okay, good evening all, according to my time zone here. Uh, I don't know. Thank you very much. I love what the community is building, and I must say I appreciate my time here. But then, as a financial expert, I believe the community needs progress. So that's why sort of a way, I came up with an idea. I don't know. It has been in my mind since the ending of last year. But even as I'm talking now, I'm in works to create something. Is in form of hosting a monthly a monthly like say community call in a Discord community I'm working with, and this community has a large number of members. You know, this community is engaged in onboarding new users and OGs in airdrop. So I believe to be a good thing that this community gets to know about Zcash. You know,
Yes.
uh, that's the idea I'm having. When I'm done, I will write down my proposal, but I'm just giving a head start. Maybe other things attached, but it will be really information, and I'll relay it to the community, to our community here. So that's
Thank
what I
you.
just say. Then,
Thanks.
secondly,
That's awesome.
second,
What
second,
it was a Discord server you mentioned?
yeah,
Okay, cool. Look forward to it. Um,
okay.
just
Okay, can I
returning.
go second?
Sorry,
Okay, okay. You have something to say?
I was going to continue with the presentation.
Okay, let me just ask a second question quickly. The Mother bounty, is it different from the Mother airdrop that we given to ZEC holders, or are they the same program? So
It's
I just
different.
wanted to see.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
different. So, ZecHub received Namada um, for two reasons. There was the Namada retroactive public goods funding round, which went to Zcash projects, projects that contributed to Zcash. Um, and we also participated in the Namada Community Builders Program, and yeah, we received NAM for that as well. So that NAM will be deposited into the DAO. It's actually one of our milestones. Um, and when it's deposited into the DAO, the people on the DAO will then be able to choose what to do with it. A proposal that I will make or someone else will make is to use that as part of a bounty program, or use a portion of it as part of a bounty program. And the reason we're going to do this is because it'll be the first bounty program that offers Namada. Um, and yeah, we could potentially position ourselves quite well for like to be a long term and sustainable project, like not entirely reliant on the Zcash ecosystem.
okay. Thank you very much for that clarity. I
Yes,
appreciate.
you're very welcome. So we come onto the ZecHub timeline, and this is the full project plan. So the presentation that you've been watching thus far is like an abridged version of the project plan, which I will share in Discord. So take a look through it, and it goes through in a bit more detail what our aim is. Um, I don't know if I have enough water to read all of this. Hold on. Okay, so we went through this at the beginning. With the mainnet launch of Namada and Penumbra, we're now in a position to produce more educational content for the shielded ecosystem. And so the aim is to release materials for these ecosystems in an effort to join and encourage usage between them. So, so that includes Zcash. Our approach is focused towards producing engaging content directed toward existing cryptocurrency users and providing actionable, relatable education around on-chain plus online privacy issues. The podcast will play a central role toward our Zcash outreach. The bounty program will be extended to offer different assets alongside Zec, becoming the first bounty program. This is what I mentioned. Long-term sustainability of the project is basically the aim. We went through goals and objective, deliverables, and milestones, and so this is the timeline which we've created thus far. So launching the Shielded newsletter app will happen fairly soon. We already have the section and the button, thanks to Senior Dev, who actually completed this today. And users will be able to select ecosystem news or network stats by entering the unified address they'll receive it once per week to their Zcash wallet. It's I don't think we've ever seen. I don't know if we've seen something like this where people receive news to their Zcash wallet. It's kind of using it in a, like for not just payments, but you could receive news. So for ZecHub to do this, that's cool. Like people can receive Zcash ecosystem news, but there's the potential if we give people the tools they need to make one of these themselves, we could see, I don't know, maybe 5 newsletters popping up for different things, like maybe they're traders or um, who knows, like the Zcash Underground newsletter, right? Who knows? Um, Redesign the ZecHub store, that's in progress. New ZecHub brand assets. So Mini has created a new logo, I think, or is in the process of creating a new logo. Depending how it turns, yeah, nice one. Depending how it turns out, we could look at like figuring out the other assets, like the introduction on our YouTube videos, introduction for our podcasts, stuff like that. So this goes on and on. Like the my first Zcash payment round needs to go out. So these are the things that we've planned so far for each month. You'll notice that there's a Zcash title or subheading and an Armada subheading, and this is the first time that we're actually dedicating time towards pursuing our goal, like becoming a shielded ecosystem platform. Um, so it's like part of the plan, right? Um, yeah. So please take a look at it. Let us know what you think. Hackathon is planned for June. Um, this should be in August. And so you'll notice after the end, at the end of July, I've put NE7. This is a guess. It's an approximation of when NE7 might occur. Could be later, but after this, it's kind of empty, right? Because essentially, I can't tell the future. Things will probably get pushed back. Um, it's good to not be overconfident. So we've left it clear, right? So NE7's probably going to happen here, and when that does happen, most of our content is going to be focused towards Zcash shielded assets, potentially network sustainability mechanism items. It remains to be seen, but yeah, I hope you're not angry that we've kind of not overestimated ourselves.
Yeah, we can revisit that in 6 months, and
Yeah.
I think that would be wiser. And then, Squirrel, you gonna mention anything about the ambassador program?
Excuse me, I thought I read that. Oh no. So this is. There we are. Continuing from the successful trial provisioning for Zcash Global Ambassador initiatives, ZecHub DAO will review proposals with the aim of bringing Zcash education to a wider set of countries. Global Ambassador funding allows runway for new people joining the community to demonstrate their ingenuity. So, similar to what we saw with CJ Frankie's event, which he held at his college, and Zcash Turkey, who's like been producing really good educational stuff, and there's a growing Zcash Turkey community. If you jump in the Telegram, it's more active by the day. We've shown that like we can, or the DAO can kind of determine, they can select worthy community members for like global ambassador initiatives, and this actually uh, like it gives them a chance to prove their project, and once proven, I suppose it gives them um, like a path, right? So you could start as a ZecHub global ambassador through ZecHub, and then after a number of months, there's a chance that you could then go to ZCG or FPF or ZF minor grants, right? So yeah, that's the idea with the global ambassador stuff.
Is there any questions regarding that? Looks like Zero Darts has a question. Should we expect Zcash media type or documentary for the long-term document? I think I'll let Squirrel answer that.
Yeah. Not exactly the Zcash media type thing. Um, this will probably be more amateurish, right? So I'm going to buy a camera and write a storyboard and a script and contact my friend who's a Steadicam operator who's got experience in this kind of stuff and get his advice and see what we can do. So it'll be, yeah, it probably won't be polished. Okay, so yeah, please jump in if you have questions. Um, anything that you'd like to add to the timeline, let us know.
Or if there's something that we didn't bring up that you want to work on that you think uh, might be helpful to the ecosystem, let us know too, because maybe we are missing ideas that could be useful. So we're open to ideas there.
Yeah, by the way, I should point out, so with the timeline, these are ZecHub core team tasks. All of this stuff, or most of it, the videos, educational articles, community calls that are going to be held, the app, the store, all of this is the core team, what we're going to be doing. While all of this is happening, there is the ZecHub Bounty program that is producing posters and documentation to the wiki and more tutorials. Um, so yeah, alongside all of this is the Bounty program. Okay, does it sound good? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I'm happy to accept either. Okay, thumbs up. Thank you. And yeah, if you're a long time ZecHub contributor, you can expect to receive an invite to serve on the ZecHub DAO. Are there any presidential events you pretend to show ZecHub this year? I'm not sure what you mean. Presidential? I'm not too sure. Or like in-person events. It would be good if there were any. I think Ryan from ZKAV Club was intending to be involved in real world crypto, which I think is later this year. So I could show up and do interviews for the podcast or something. Yeah, there are no events which we have on our calendar yet. It's January 7th, so we'll be working towards those things over the next couple of weeks.
But we're open to proposals if others in their local areas would be well set up for that. That'd be a good avenue, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, every year we have a lot of events around the world. So and we have the DAO members who also can attend the events. So probably if an event just shows up in London or Brazil, we have a team here as well, and the United States. So feel free to tag in us to see if you can do together.
Yeah. Hey, we've got senior dev in the call. Everyone say thank you for building the newsletter, shielded newsletter page.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, no worries. So like you can tell it's really cool that so many contributors, like each they're building ZecHub, right? It's really all of us which are making it possible to move forward. Um, I would love to say to everyone, right? Is now that I have the opportunity, is like, please do feel free um to chat with us, like in the ZecHub chat. Um, there's a lot of people who like DM me, but you don't need to DM me. You could just speak in the main channel, and if I can't answer you, then there's like 100 other people who know more than me. Yes, refreshing old guides. This is necessary. So I did mention documentation for contributors, um, refreshing guides. Yeah, we do need to do that. I will take a note of that. I will show some ideas for expansion and compensation in BR soon, such as mini Zcash representatives. That would be really, really cool. Michael, yeah, so something that I was excited to see with the Zcash Espanol proposal was something they called a onboarded, was it? No, merchant onboarding framework, right? So they have like a program maybe, or they could like invite people who own a store or a shop. They could invite them like for a day to really teach them and show them, go through materials of how to accept Zec. I like that idea. Setting up Zebra has been, I think it has been done. Here we are. But in fact, it's easier than this now. All you need to do is just run the Zebra launcher. Yeah. We'll add this to do.
Yeah, just for all the out of date stuff that we need to update, because that's a continuous process. I just gotta ping me on what's out of date. If that's where like community members, more eyes on it will help help us keep that up to date.
So for the contributors, the ZecHub contributors who are in here with us, did you know that if you find any issue on the wiki site, okay, because this is our home, zechub.wiki is the project's home. If you find an issue on the website, you can go ahead and fix it yourself, make the PR, show me what was fixed, and you would automatically receive a bounty for fixing it. Okay? This is how it works. If you find something that's wrong or needs noted, good. You find something that's wrong or needs to be fixed, you can fix it and then request the bounty. So obviously don't go looking for like a misspelled word and ask for like 5 Zec. It's going to be within reason. The contributor's guide should specify like an expected amount for editing a document, fixing a broken link, producing a newsletter, translating a newsletter, stuff like that. We'll be updating this documentation very, very soon, because essentially, up until now, DWork tasks, people who would apply for DWork tasks would simply apply, and I would have to guess whether or not they could complete the task. And unfortunately, like it sometimes did lead to to times when we received something and we we had to pay a partial amount because they did some work, but we weren't able to use the content. That's very disappointing, right? So going forward this year, if you want to apply for a task, I will request, or you should offer, like some evidence. If it's a poster, show us some of your previous work, show us what you can do. Meanwhile, Squirrel, if I find a bug and fix, how do I contact you? I don't have access to your direct messages. You can at me in the main ZecHub chat, and either me or some of the other core team members will respond. Or yeah,
I
use
like
GitHub.
I like Red Hose's use GitHub. I think that's perfect. Create a PR.
Definitely.
We will give Zcash Media Kit made by design plus standard PPT, Zcash content presentation for their learning and teach. Exactly. Yeah, they need it. A Zcash Media Kit would be like super useful, man. Perhaps as part of the rebranding, we could create one for ZecHub as well. There's actually a good example of one called the Nomada Visual Identity. So this is like a good example of a branding kit.
Yeah, we could put a
Like,
ZecHub visual identity right on our site. That would be perfect.
A brand manual. Yes, exactly. Like it's not just the assets, but it's how to use them as well. Color combinations. There's a lot to it. Font types. So we are at 55 minutes, and I think well, I hope I've given everyone an idea of what our plan is. Going forward, like our key milestones. Yeah, like it's a lot of pressure and it's a lot of stuff, but we're determined to pull through.